Hey there, I'm Caden Rains and welcome to my basement. Today we've got two more Origins Skeletors and a bonus to look at. And in this case, they're both crossover style figures. We've got the Turtles of Grayskull Samurai Skeletor from the TMNT crossover that's kind of ongoing at the moment. And then we've got the Stranger Things crossover, which is more a crossover in the case of the Demogorgon, which is our bonus figure of today. There's not too much to talk about with Skeletor, but we'll still take a look at him. But let's get these unpackaged, and then we will dig into what they've got going for them and where they might go on the shelf. All right, so here's the Skeletor and Demogorgon figures out together. Like I noted before, there's not really much to the Skeletor besides his paint job being, and mostly that's just on his armor, and a little bit to like his shading. Besides that being a little different than you'll find in most figures, especially others in the Origins line, there's nothing really much to say about him. I mean, he still doesn't look bad. He can't hold the sword. He can hold either the sword or the staff, not both. And I usually default to the staff. But, I mean, he's another Skeletor with a different paint job. Nothing against that, like I said. The Demogorgon, if you're familiar with that from the from the Netflix series Stranger Things, it does not normally look like this. He's much more spindly, or it's much more spindly, and doesn't wear armor or a loincloth, or have a D20 staff, which, you know, is cute, I guess, but it's like, even in He-Man, I don't really see that as a normal weapon. It's like I'm more likely to give this to an actual D&D action figure than I would be to keep it with the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon is an animal. It runs around and tears you to shreds and then eats you with its giant mouth. Although I've only seen the first 2.5 seasons, so if that changed at some point, I guess let me know. I still don't think I know that there's other enemies or villains or whatever from the Upside Down in that series after the Demogorgon, but I still don't think the Demogorgon ever looks like this. So I will say that if I didn't find this 2-pack on sale, I mean, it was a deep discount, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. Like I said, the Skeletor is nothing real special. This isn't like such a great paint. I mean, it's not a bad paint job, but it's not so different or so stupendous that I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, I just need that Skeletor. No, I was like, I recognize that it's a repaint of an existing figure that I already have. And while the Demogorgon is neat, I don't collect Stranger Things stuff. I will put these guys on the shelf for now, but if I need to make space at some point, these are two that are likely to leave the shelf when that comes, which, you know, hopefully they don't, this one especially doesn't come down and try to eat me at some point for saying that, but, you know, them's the breaks. But anyway, they're still neat. There's nothing wrong with these. I don't regret getting them. I just wouldn't have gotten them if they weren't on sale. All right, so let's look at the Turtles of Grayskull one, and we'll go from there. All right, so here is the Turtles of Grayskull Samurai Skeletor from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover. This is a much more in-depth of a change compared to the last figure. Now, it still has that Origins look, like in the face and body, but they've, you know, given him the samurai-looking armor, especially with the helmet. This, his loin armor, and then his Havoc staff has become a pair of Havoc nunchucks, which is pretty neat. I know there's another name for them when they've got the blade, but I don't know what it is, and I'm not in a place to look it up right now. So, you know, nunchucks is what we're going to call them. I'm sorry if I'm not enough of a weeb to know that off the top of my head. He also comes with a vial of the ooze, because the crossover, like most things that deal with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, involves mutating stuff. There is a follow-up figure that is coming out soonish, I believe, as of the recording of this video, that is basically the Shredditor. I don't think that's the name it's going with, but it's what I'm calling it, where Shredder and Skeletor are mutating together. And I will be getting that figure. I think that'll be a more impressive looking figure than this one in the long run, especially since it got more elements of the Turtles baked into the Skeletor figure. But I still like this one. I think that the neon green, or Havoc Malice green, whatever you want to call it, looks good, and it accents the blacks. And yeah, he's a little more purple than normal, but purple's still in the blue family, so it's all good with me. So on the whole, I'm pretty happy with this figure, more so than the other one. And the other one wasn't bad. It was just a repaint. So there wasn't as much to be excited about. But this is interesting. I wonder if it would have been better if he had a soft cape instead of this plastic one. I mean, it looks fine. It's got that wind-blown effect, but it's always going to have that wind-blown effect. So to me, it might have been better if this top part had been plastic, like down to like right here, and then that had been on top of a cloth cape. I think that might have been maybe better in the long run, but it still looks good. And yeah, so he's definitely going to be on the shelf for a while, even when I get that Shredder Skeletor fusion or mutation or whatever they're going to call it. I still think this one will have a place compared to the repaint Skeletor we went over a minute ago. But regardless of all that, I'm going to put all three of these figures on the shelf, and let's take a look at them. And we're going to put you right here. What? Those aren't Skeletors? Oh yeah, because they're over here. Yeah, I don't know where the Demogorgon's going to go long term now. But there's Samurai Skeletor, and there's my repaint next to the one he's a repaint of. So there you go. So there is the Skeletor collection. There is one more video of figures. There's going to be 4 more from the 2000X line. And that's going to be it for now. Then we'll be all caught up on Skeletors. Like I said, for now, though. So, do you have either of these crossover figures, or all 3 of these crossover, I guess I should say? The Stranger Things, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then what came with the Stranger Things. And if you do have all of them or any of them, do you like them? Do you regret getting them? Do you wish you'd gotten them if you don't have them? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts about how the Blue Boy collection is coming along. But anyway, thanks for spending time in my basement. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I will see you on the next one.